Welcome everyone to the 6th episode of the first Ninjago podcast, Podjitzu. I'm Steven, aka SPI, and I am not joined by my co-host Luke, because he has to be fully devoted to his studies at school. So yeah, Luke's not here. You guys will hear him once again once I get him back, and hopefully I can get him back by next episode. Oh yeah, coming up, Luke and I are probably going to do the Lego Not Very Ninjago movie review, which will be coming, I think maybe even, it could even come out on the day of when the actual movie will be released. I really just want to get it out there as soon as possible, so I hope I can bring him back for that. I really want to, because we're going to have a lot of opinions to share about this movie. Trust me, a lot of opinions. Some good, some bad, some in between. Just prepare for that. That'll be like episode, I'm just going to do an estimation in my head right here. Maybe episode 9. Anyway, let's get right into the news! Garmadon. I think that's how it goes. Yeah, I literally just said that right after the Keemstar intro. That's a Lego Not Very Ninjago movie set that was just... Seriously? I'm going to look like an idiot if that sound did not even appear on the podcast. Somebody just texted me. What is this? Oh. You want to play checkers. You want to play checkers on Game Pigeon. Well, now you're in the podcast, and I'm triggered. No, I'm just kidding. That's cool. I was waiting for that text. Thank you. Thank you for texting me. Anyway, the Garmadon? Are there 3 or 4 Garmadons? I don't even know. That Lego Not Very Ninjago movie set image was just revealed, I think, the day that I uploaded the last episode of the podcast. So that was pretty unfortunate. We just did all the news and everything, and then another piece of news just came in. Wow. So yeah, I'm just going to pull up that set image on Google right now and stare at it. Okay, so basically, the set looks like a giant shark. I'm pretty sure it's the one that was in the first Ninjago, Not Very Ninjago movie trailer, where Garmadon was just like, what did he even say? He was talking to Lloyd and all that stuff. So, okay, it comes with Lloyd, Garmadon, a couple of fish people, 3 fish people, and probably a random citizen. Okay. That's kind of cool. 700 pieces. It's interesting. It's cool. I'm not really into the Not Very Ninjago movie sets as much as probably most of you are, but yeah, I think that looks really cool. Not really something that I'm gonna get, but if it came with better minifigures, I would say this set would be worth it, to be honest. Like, this looks pretty cool. It's a giant shark mech. Because these minifigures are good, except they're not rare or anything. They come in other sets, so somebody might make the argument, why are you gonna buy this set when you can just buy another one and get another Garmadon and Lloyd and fish people minifigures? I think that sentence was grammatically incorrect, but I'm just going to move on and act like it wasn't. Anyway, some other news. Lego Not Very Ninjago movie trailer 2. I thought that it was pretty cool. It got me a little bit more into the movie. I'm not into the movie, as most of you know. If you've listened to the 2nd episode of Podjitzu, where Luke and I talked about the Lego Not Very Ninjago movie, you know about this, and we reference it, here and there in this podcast. But basically, I thought it was really cool. It brought up some hype. It got me kind of excited as the trailer went on. And then Taylor Swift's Bad Blood started playing, and I was like, this movie, they've ruined it. And then my eyes were opened to all the flaws and the hair, Jay's hair, Cole's hair, Zane being a cheese stick, Nia looking like Wild Style, Nia driving a motorcycle in a high school. Yeah. Meowthra was pretty awesome, though. That's probably the highlight of the trailer. Meowthra playing with the laser pointer and tearing down a building. Some other news. Woo's Tease apparently isn't canon. This was revealed in a tweet by Tommy Andreson on Twitter. This is how a lot of news is revealed, by the way. For those of you who have been living under a rock and didn't know that, sorry if I just triggered some of the members of the audience. And what else? New voice actor for Lloyd Revealed. I'm late on this news because Podjitzu was delayed a week because of, Luke and stuff, and him not being able to record Podjitzu for a while. So, Yeah, his name is Sam Vincent. That's the voice actor for Lloyd, not Luke's real name. Luke's real name is Mark Hamill. But yeah, the voice actor for Lloyd, the newest one, is called Sam Vincent. He's been in a lot of other stuff. He was actually in, I think he was in X-Men Evolution. I didn't even know that. A show that I've just been getting into because I'm trying to get into Marvel animated shows, and I looked up the cast and I was like, whoa, Cole, the Overlord, Lloyd, the other Lloyd? Like, seriously, Julian Michaels and Sam Vincent have both been in it. I think also Michael Dobson, Paul Dobson, Andrew Francis. So it's like, there's Cole, there's Overlord Nauticon Klaus with, Scott McNeil, there's Sensei Wu, Pythor, Moro, Lloyd, New Lloyd, I think even Jay. Yeah, so many actors from Ninjago are in that show. They really get around in the other animated shows and all that. But yeah, Sam Vincent, he seems pretty cool. His voice doesn't exactly seem like Lloyd to me, but I guess after a while I'll get used to it. It's not too much of a problem with me because I knew this was going to happen. I'm just glad it's not Dave Franco's voice. I triggered the rest of the audience. And this next thing is not really news, it's just something I wanted to point out. Julian Michaels voices Maya, who's Kai's mother, and Edna, who's Jay's mother. So she's still going to have some roles on the show. She might get some more because, I don't know, Lego might be like, hey, we're sorry for taking away your role as Lloyd Garmadon, so you're going to be random Ninjago citizen number 20. No, not number 20, number 323, I don't even know. Oh yeah, and there's also a new Lego Ninjago movie, Polybag. It looks pretty similar to the version of Lloyd in the Lego Not Very Ninjago movie minifigures pack. I like that hood. I might end up picking up this Polybag just for that hood because it looks cool. I've always kind of wanted a jacket hood like that, or just, something of that style. But the hair I don't like. Because if you want to put it on another minifigure, then they're going to have blonde hair. Okay, there's some more news I want to talk about. One of them is that there was something that was revealed at Comic-Con, but not really. I made a video on this, and what it was basically about was that somebody in the audience at Comic-Con asked a question to the people behind Ninjago about whether or not we will see Kai and Nia's grandparents, aka Rey and Maya's parents. And one of the people behind Lego made a joke saying, yeah, we will, in Season 13. And I guess that was the moment when the audience laughed and everybody was like, ha 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 ha, that's not actually going to happen. That's ridiculous. Why would Kai and Nia's grandparents ever appear in the show? Season 13? Wow. But I mean, it wasn't a bad question. There are a lot of characters that we don't know about, and if you think about it, Kai and Nia's grandparents would have been around during the time of the first Spinjitzu Master, so if their story was explored, we would actually learn more about the time that the first Spinjitzu Master lived in. Because we don't really know about that, the old Ninjago, which was 70 years ago and all that stuff. But basically, some people in the Ninjago community took this seriously, and they were like, oh, Seasons 10 through 13 have been confirmed. And I went to Tommy Andreassen's Twitter and found out that somebody asked him about this, and he replied that this was just a joke, and they don't know what the future holds beyond Season 9. So if you want to check out that video, the link will be in the description under the time cards. Oh yeah, and those time cards, they're important because if you want to skip around in this podcast, you really should. Those time cards are very useful. Here's some Season 8 news. NRG Lloyd was revealed in this book that's coming out called The Book of Spinjitzu. It has Sensei Wu on it and all that stuff. I'll probably put like a link in the description to that news and stuff. So if you want to check that out, you can. And the last bit of news that I want to talk about, which will kind of transition into the main topic of this episode, is the Season 8 Comic-Con teaser. I think the weekend after I uploaded the last episode of Podjitzu, there was a Season 8 Comic-Con teaser leaked on YouTube and later uploaded by Lego. I'm just going to do like a full analysis of this trailer right now, give you all my thoughts, and really just dive into Season 8 and what we know of so far. Before I get into this, I do want to point out that I have been kind of giving hints of what was going to happen in this episode. It was going to be, I'm not even sure if I should even tell you guys, but basically I've been kind of saying, there's a big surprise coming on episode 6. It's going to be really cool. I'm going to talk about season 8 and this other thing. Well, this other thing is going to be... I'm going to torture you guys even longer. I don't even want to tell you. I'll give you a hint. For those of you who are loyal fans to Podjitzu, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't, go back and watch the episodes. I was planning an idea. It might end up being a very horrible idea for me on my part, not really Luke's, but to just talk about one character, one specific character, for the rest of the episode. And that character is Luke's #1 favorite character in all of Ninjago. If you guys know who he is, then you know what madness was about to happen in this episode, which will probably happen. I don't really know exactly in which episode Luke will be returning, but I hope he'll be very soon. It's really fun to do this with him. So basically, what happened with this Comic-Con trailer is that LEGO uploaded a version of this on their YouTube channel after somebody leaked it on YouTube, except the version had no sound, which didn't really make any sense. So I guess LEGO just decided to upload it later with sound because they have 2 of them on their channel. That's kind of weird. I'll put the link in the description to the one that does have sound. For this topic, I'm going to compile all the information that we know of for this upcoming season so far and try to predict what's going to happen in it, as well as analyzing this Comic-Con teaser and just everything that we know of so far. So first thing I'm going to do is finish up the news and just talk about this sneak peek. So basically, the sneak peek starts out with everybody celebrating in Ninjago City, but then the teaser focuses in on these, I think, 6 characters, which at first seem to be the ninja, but as the clip goes on, we realize that they actually aren't the ninja and they're bad guys, which break into Borg Tower and steal this mask. Some Easter eggs I want to point out. In Borg's Tower, not only there is a picture of Cyrus Borg, but also a statue of Kanjikan, which was cool. I really hope that they make Kanjikan into a minifigure. I mentioned that in my latest video that I uploaded yesterday, so yeah, now I'm getting off topic. Back on topic. So anyway, these bad guys steal this mask from Cyrus Borg's tower, but when they're trying to steal the mask, they accidentally set off an alarm, and then they try to escape, but are stopped by the Green Ninja, who is kind of like not very Ninjago movie Lloyd, but at the same time, not really. And he does some really cool moves. This kind of different spinjitzu, which is, it doesn't look exactly like it used to in the show, which is kind of strange. He has green eyes now, which, I mean, in my opinion, that's stupid unless he has, like, some eye disorder or something. I know some people have been saying this is because he's going through puberty or something and he's becoming a better elemental master, but there are no other elemental masters that have different color eyes, except for maybe Karloff. Did his eyes turn silver whenever he uses his power? I don't know. And I could be wrong, there could be somebody else, but most of them don't, if not all of the others. So, I don't know. That's just kind of weird. It just seems like to me like they're trying to bring in all of these new Ninjago fans that have watched the movie but haven't watched the show, so they just make Lloyd look more like he does in the movie because he's, you know, the main character in the movie, and they think that's going to bring in these people. Oh, here's another Easter egg. One of the bad guys actually, I think it's the white and gray one, falls off the rope or something. I don't know. Maybe Lloyd knocks him off. I can't really remember. And then he is approached by the police, who I think are Noonan and O'Doyle, who have been in a lot of other Ninjago episodes, so it's kind of good that they bring them in once again. I always like it when the same Ninjago citizens always return. For example, Know Whoever, which is like the best character ever invented in Ninjago. If you don't know who Know Whoever is, just look him up on Twitter and you'll find out who he is. Or watch my video titled Every Character in Ninjago. Yeah, I'm sorry for all the self-advertising, but I just want you guys to know stuff. I want you guys to be more educated about things you didn't know in Ninjago. And you guys are smart, like seriously. When I talk to you guys in YouTube comment sections and stuff, you guys seem to know a lot. Like seriously. You're mad geniuses when it comes to Ninjago. So I'm kind of getting close to the end of the trailer right now. Lloyd asks Pixel for his car, and I guess he's like falling off of something. Yeah, he's falling off of the rope or a building or something, and he's like, Pixel, pick me up. And then the car comes flying in, and Lloyd jumps on it, and then he just pursues I think, the leader of the villains, I guess. So they have an epic chase scene. I can definitely tell what Tommy Andreasen meant by new animation and all that. I love the animation in this. It looks really cool. But I'm going to fully get into my thoughts on Season 8 later on in the topic. And right now I'm just going to finish this analysis of the sneak peek. I know, this analysis is really merging into the full Season 8 analysis, so I'm sorry if this is kind of confusing, but technically this is 1 foot into the topic and 1 foot not into the topic. I don't even know. So yeah, Lloyd is just pursuing this guy across this bridge, which I don't think we've seen before in Ninjago City. We may have in Rebooted or something. And the villain gets away. He activates a parachute which has this picture of Garmadon on it, but he looks kind of similar to the version in the Lego Not Very Ninjago movie, which I kind of don't really like because, okay, I mean, it's alright that they're making him seem like the Lego Not Very Ninjago movie version, but if they're gonna make him return in this season, they'd better make him look like he originally did, or come up with some really good explanation to change him, because I kind of understand why they're changing Lloyd and the rest of the ninja, but if you change Garmadon, then it's just like, it just doesn't work very well. And then at the end, Lloyd's just like, what? Kind of surprised. I guess he might not understand completely who these villains are, and he talks to Pixel about stuff. He's like, time to bring in the rest of the team, and yeah, the villain escapes. So now I'm going to give my thoughts about Season 8, basically compile all the information that we know of so far, and really just dive into what could possibly be coming. The first thing I want to talk about is Samurai X. Samurai X has been a character that has been extremely mysterious, debatably one of the most mysterious characters on Ninjago before. And I'm talking about Samurai X 2.0, obviously. Not Nia being Samurai X, but the latest edition of Samurai X. People, including myself, have speculated that Pixel is the new Samurai X because after Pixel was missing from Zane's database, Samurai X came on the show and everybody was just like, who is Samurai X? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? The Samurai X suit is gone and Pixel's gone? Coincidence? I think not. There are no coincidences. And it was really obvious. I've seen this twist before in other shows, but at the same time it wasn't obvious because so many people were thrown off by different things. Other people saying, oh, it's somebody from the future or the past or whatever, which, I mean, is still likely, but they've changed the timeline already, and doing something like that would just be way more confusing, and people would be like, what if Samurai X hadn't showed up? And yeah, I don't think that's who Samurai X is. Also, Skylar kind of confused people because Nia speculated that Skylar was Samurai X, and then Samurai X used the fake voice to imitate Skylar. And then later on in the episode, Nia went to Skylar's noodle shop and asked her about Samurai X, and then she was just like, ooh, I'm the samurai? And then Kai was like, oh, she's been here the whole time. And then Nia was just like, no, I don't know who Samurai X is. Yeah, that's my horrible Nia impression. So yeah, it's not Skylar. That was just a trick to throw people off. But I mean, there is still that little possibility that Skylar's in two places at once, but come on. Lego can do a lot of things, but that's like very unlikely. So it's either Pixel, some other character that nobody has thought about before. It could be, I don't even know. But I still think it's Pixel, and some people have said, oh, it's not Pixel because Pixel was talking to Lloyd in Season 8. Well, actually, I think this proves even more that Pixel is Samurai X, and I'll explain why. So basically, when Pixel was talking to Lloyd, I realized something. Pixel usually talks to Zane, and Pixel's just kind of in his head. But the fact that he talked to Lloyd in his car kind of proves that either they can transfer her to like other systems or something, or she has a physical form, and she's contacting Lloyd from their home base, which kind of seems more like how it was in Season 8. And I'm pretty sure that Pixel wasn't in Zane's head, and Lloyd was just contacting Zane's head or something, because Lloyd made the remark, oh, I could kiss you, Pix, which, is not Lloyd at all. This is like a new Lloyd. And then Pixel just like, oh, I don't think Zane would approve. Yeah, Zane's obviously not present. So Pixel either has a new form and Pixel was talking to Lloyd from their home base, or she can transfer her intelligence around or something. And I think Tommy Andreasen has said on Twitter that it has been 4 years since Season 7, so it would really make sense that the ninja found out about Pixel being Samurai X within this gap. A lot of other secrets are going to be revealed, and I'm basically just going to speculate how exactly these play out into Season 8, and some of my thoughts about a lot of stuff that has been revealed within the past 2 or 3 weeks. One thing that I want to mention is it's most likely going to be a Lloyd season. I know I really wanted this to be a hashtag Sensei Wu season. A lot of people did as well. Cole, a lot of people wanted it to be a Cole season, maybe even a Zane season. I even kind of wanted it to be an every single ninja season at the same time, because I went back and I watched Season 1 and I'm like, this was good. Season 1 wasn't really a Kai season. It was just kind of like every ninja gets their episode. Like, for example, Jay got the Snakebit episode, which was episode 3. Zane got TikTok. Zane got Home. Cole got so on and so forth. Kai got some episodes and whatever. And it really just focused on each character. And I mean, they did have their imbalances, but it wasn't exactly Kai's season. Same thing with Season 2. Season 2 was supposed to be Lloyd season, but it wasn't exactly Kai's season. It was kind of just everybody. So, if you think about it that way, this is the first Lloyd season ever in Ninjago. And this whole one character getting a season thing basically started when Rebooted happened, because that was primarily focused on Zane, and it went to a season primarily focused on Kai, and in one primarily focused on either all of the ninja or Moro, or something like that. Maybe even Nia or Cole, I don't know. I think that was just all of the ninja and Moro. And into one focused on Jay, and into the one focused on the Blacksmith siblings, and now the one focused on Lloyd. The first ever season focused on Lloyd, if you think about it. And before I realized this, I was kind of frustrated that Lloyd was getting the spotlight again, but now that I think about it, he hasn't been getting the spotlight as much as he used to in Season 2 and all that, and still Lloyd was in the sidelines kind of in Season 2 until the final battle really started to come closer and happen. I'm not really frustrated, I'm kind of okay with it, as long as they come up with the hashtag Sensei Wu season and eventually give us a Cole season, and then I guess they can end the series, because they gotta stop milking this product. Come on, do some spin-offs, Lego. It'll be the next best thing. Some other stuff, I'm really looking forward to the new writing. The Higman brothers have been away from Ninjago for a while, so I'm guessing they've come up with a lot of good ideas in the meantime, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have. The people behind Ninjago have said, oh, this will be either the best season or one of the best seasons. Even Brent Miller, who really liked Season 1, said this could beat Season 1. So I'm looking forward to the writing. That might end up being the best part about Season 8, and the new animation is another good thing about it. The new animation looks really cool. The fight scenes are going to be epic, I can already tell, so I'm really looking forward to that. But the bad part about this season, which is what all the controversy is based around, is the similarity between Lloyd and the Ninjago, I mean the not very Ninjago movie version of Lloyd, and probably the rest of the ninja. I'm just going to come right out. The Ninjago movie versions never should have happened in the first place. None of this controversy would even be a thing if the Ninjago movie versions didn't happen. They could have just said in the trailer, oh, this is a reboot, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how they would have done that, but they're Lego. They can get creative. If they made them pretty similar to their show versions in the movie, then I would have been more on board for the movie. I might actually enjoy it more than I do now and stuff. And yeah, this controversy behind Season 8 just never would have happened in the first place. Sure, Lloyd's voice would have changed, but that wouldn't really start the whole, I think there is even like a movement, hashtag no Season 8 or so. I don't even know what it is, but it's kind of stupid because, guys, the writing's going to be cool, the animation's going to be cool. So if you hate these versions of the ninja, just look past that and see the writing, see the animation. But at the same time, don't be stupid, Lego, and use the Ninjago movie versions. So I'm kind of, right now, and basically in the past, I've been unsure on my position on Season 8. That's why I've been kind of reluctant to share my opinion and make a video about it. And I've just kind of been putting it off till a podcast because I've kind of gone back and forth. I think Season 8 is going to be a great season, but at the same time, I don't want them to ruin the ninja and all that stuff, so I don't know. Like, you people might even say in the comment section, oh, it'll be fine, the ninja will be fine, but I hope they'll be fine, because this could drive people away from Ninjago. Some people are even saying this is going to ruin Ninjago, and Ninjago right now at this moment has probably never been closer to being ruined. Let's be real here. Like, there was the point even when the final battle was happening and Chimo was starting, and that might have ruined Ninjago, but it didn't. It just brought more people together. People were like, oh, hey, we like this and stuff. And even the Higman brothers leaving and Day of the Departed becoming a special, a lot of people still loved that, and it brought people together and people back on board for Ninjago because they actually really liked the Cole stuff. Even though it wasn't a season, it still didn't really change that many people's opinion on the show. And yet, Season 8 and the Lego Ninjago movie are dividing more people in the Ninjago community than probably ever before. And that's really a problem. That's when Lego should realize, hey, we're doing something wrong. And that one thing, in the first place, are the Ninjago movie versions. Just in the first place. They should have never made those. And I know some people think they're cool and whatever, but all this controversy just wouldn't have happened in the first place if they just were never made. Other than that, I'm pretty hyped. As I said, I'm looking forward to the new writing. The new animation looks cool. And another thing that I want to point out is that the whole Sons of Garmadon idea I kind of don't really like, because in a way we've seen that before in Season 4. It kind of seems to me like either they're worshippers of Garmadon or something, or they're actual sons, which I would kind of prefer if they're actual sons. But at the same time, we've seen that before too with Moro. So either way, they're basically kind of repeating what they've done in Season 4 and Season 5. So I'm kind of unsure about the whole Sons of Garmadon thing. I hope they do it well, but I don't know. We don't really know what's going to happen in Season 8. It could be really awesome, and we could be totally wrong, but I don't know. I also want to point out that we've had ancient threats in every single season of Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu. Season 1. The Serpentine, the ancient Serpentine, ha ha ha, they're an old wives' tale or whatever. They're an old tale and they don't exist, blah blah blah. Season 2, the Stone Warriors, even more ancient threat. Season 3, the Overlord, who's, a really ancient threat. And that's kind of like, Season 3 is the only season that branches off from this. And I liked that about it. I liked how it was a futuristic threat. I don't really think that they did it as best as they could. Season 3 seemed kind of like it got the short end of the stick, and it got only 8 episodes and all that, and I know a lot of people really like Season 3, but I feel like it could have been a lot better, and I think it had the potential to be a lot better. But yeah, the Nindroids were basically one of the only threats that weren't some old ancient threat or whatever. Season 4, there's a whole backstory behind Chen and the Anaconda and all that. Season 5 was about Moro, Sensei Wu's lost student, and ghosts who were, dead and old and stuff. So, yeah. But here's one good thing about Season 5, Ronin. Sensei Wu didn't really know about Ronin, and neither did anybody else but the ninja and some people that hate Ronin, like Soul Archer. And yet still there was some backstory that the ninja didn't know, but it wasn't too far off into the past. Yet Season 6 and 7 went far off into the past as well with, the whole wishing and Jin stuff and pirates and all that in Season 6. And in Season 7, Hands of Time with the Chronics and Crux and Great Devourer's children, the Vermilion. I really hope in this next season they don't kind of go back and go through this ancient plotline and whatever. If they're going to do that, I hope they do it in a prequel or something. I'm tired of that, especially in Hands of Time. But yeah, I kind of hope that they stay away from that in Season 8 and they go more with a futuristic evil kind of threat. Maybe like someone who saw Garmadon as kind of like a failure and wants to move on and become better than Garmadon. A better villain than perhaps one of Ninjago's greatest villains. I think that would be a really cool plotline, and that's what I think they should do. Anyway, I've kind of already talked about the ninjas with, my opinion about how the Ninjago movie minifigures shouldn't have been made in the first place. And then all this controversy wouldn't have happened, but I'm going to talk about some stuff I'm probably going to direct you guys to another one of my videos, which is going to come out soon. And what am I talking about? I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to talk about how I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Hashtag beard for Cole. Like, seriously. Okay, so basically, I think it was the Hagman brothers, it might have been Tommy Andreasen, who have said the ninja are growing up, so they need change and whatever, which I totally understand. The whole Lloyd hairstyle thing doesn't really make me frustrated or anything. That hairstyle is actually the only good one besides Woo's out of all the Lego Not Very Ninjago movie ninjas. Oh, and young Garmadons. That was pretty cool too. But the green eyes look kind of stupid. I already kind of mentioned that before. His voice is alright. I'll get used to it. The suit doesn't really bother me. I predicted it in my, I think it was what ninja headgear will be in seasons 8 and 9. I predicted that. They were going to use the movie headgear, but recolor it or something. I said those exact words in that video. Go back and watch that if you don't believe me. But basically, I hope they make the right changes, in my opinion, for Season 8 if they're going to make them grow up and not make them debatably look younger by using the Ninjago movie versions, because I feel like maybe this is more Jay and Zane's hair seem kind of more like kids than adults, I guess. And if they use those hair pieces, maybe even Kai's, I don't know, if they use those hair pieces for the ninja, that would look kind of bad. Like, those hair pieces would look bad. Cole's is, oh man, they shouldn't. They really shouldn't. That's for the movie. Don't make it for the show. I can say the same for pretty much all of these. I hope that they stay with Zane's original hairpiece. I would love to say this about all of them, but they're going to change them. Let's be real here. So Kai's, oh man, they should all stay the same. They really all of them should stay the same, except for, I would say, Cole's and Lloyd's, and maybe even kind of Jay's, because Zane, Kai, Nia, and Jay's hairstyles in their future reflections in Possession were the same as their regular hairstyles, except for the fact that they were older and Jay actually had kind of some facial hair, which I would kind of like to see in Season 8. In a way, I definitely think if they're growing up, at least one of them has to have facial hair. So that's why I'm saying hashtag beard for Cole. Cole should have, I think Cole would kind of look good with his father's hair, in a way. Maybe some slick back hair, like, maybe like, what's his name? Mother Doomsday. I can't remember his actual, Rufus McAllister, aka Mother Doomsday. His hair in black, I think, would look really cool for Cole. Give him that hair and a beard, and that should be Cole growing up. That would look cool. Jay should kind of have like a growing mustache or something. That's what I'm thinking. Not really a full one, because I don't know. I think he would look better that way. I don't want all of them to have facial hair. That'd look weird, especially for Zane, Lloyd, and Nia. But yeah, at least Cole having facial hair would seem more like they're growing up. And Cole's like the manly one. Him having a beard would just make sense. So yeah, now that I've talked about all of that stuff, you know, all the controversy, the ninjas, Season 8 Comic-Con trailer, I'm just going to talk about the stuff that was revealed before this, and then just wrap up this podcast. So I'm going to list all the information and kind of try to merge it together. Okay, we will learn more about Cole's mother and where Cole got his elemental powers from. So I think kind of this might even be a part of an episode in Season 8. Zane's powers will be explained. Actually, throughout this season, I think all of the ninja will have their moments, because if they're really going to change all of them, then not only Lloyd should have this entire season for himself or whatever. I think overall this is going to be Lloyd's season, but it's going to be also focused on all the other ninja at some point in each of the episodes. Kind of how Hands of Time was focused on Kai and Nia, but at the same time, Lloyd and Sensei Wu kind of had their own storylines, like Sensei Wu was growing older and all that stuff, and Lloyd was trying to become a sensei. So that's what I think it's going to be like in Season 8, maybe especially with Jay, Cole, and Zane. I don't really think Kai has anything of significance too much in Season 8, because nothing was really revealed about him. Same thing with Nia. But yeah, maybe some stuff about Wu. Actually, definitely some stuff about Wu, because where is he? Where the heck is he? Zane's powers will be explained. I already mentioned that. Season 8 will feature a real Ninjago alphabet. That'll be really cool. I think that'll probably just be like an Easter egg or something in one of the episodes. I don't really think it's going to be fleshed out too much, although it could be. More details about Lloyd's past. That could mean that he actually does have a brother, possibly, which I think would be okay if they do that. As I said before, they shouldn't look towards the past, but look towards the future. Garmadon's evil nature will be fleshed out in this storyline. I guess we'll kind of realize that he was pretty evil as Lord Garmadon, even if he didn't have the Great Devourer's venom in him or something. I'm just looking through all the information that has been revealed on Twitter from Tommy Andreasen and other sources, and just speculating, so bear with me. A different elemental power manifests Wu's dragon. I don't know how that's going to play into Season 8. Let's move on. Pixel's disappearance will be explained. I already mentioned that. Season 8 will shed more light on the role of the Green Ninja. Awesome. I really want to see that. I'm a fan of the Green Ninja concept. I guess more than Lloyd, because I like all of the ninjas equally, except for Nia, who I prefer to Samurai X. But, yeah, I like that, because what's the Green Ninja's purpose after he defeats the Dark Lord? I mean, seriously. The Temple of Darkness will be featured, which I talked about in the last episode, so I guess I don't really need to talk about that. I kind of think that'll be the home base, maybe, of the villains, or some place that they go to for some weapon or something. A new romantic relationship will be formed. Some people are saying that's Lloyd, but it could be Cole. It could be Cole, it could be one of the other characters. They could cheat on their girlfriend or something. Like, who knows? It could be Dareth. It could be this new ninja, possibly, that's going to join the team. A new character who's like an 8-9-year-old ninja fan will be featured, which was revealed with Tommy Andreassen's drawing contest. How will that play into the storyline? I don't really know. I think that's just going to be like a random moment in the episode. Maybe there will be another honorary ninja. I'm not really sure. 3 statements, only 2 are true. 1, Cole will sing in several episodes. I believe that, because if there's going to be a subplot with Cole, he's going to sing. Possibly. 2, reoccurring bad guys will return. Yeah, I think so. It's very possible, because Klaus is still out there. Pythor, the mechanic, just a lot of bad guys. Landon and Colin, who are Squiffy and Bucko, are still out there. Who else? Serpentine, if they're going to turn evil. Nindroid, Stone Warrior, Giant Stone Warrior, I mean. You know, there's still a lot of bad guys. And if this season is going to dive into mysteries unsolved, then I think it's pretty possible that some bad guys are going to return that have been on before. And 3, a new ninja will join the team. It's either between Cole will sing or a new ninja will join. I don't think a new ninja will join. They've had Kai J, Cole, Zane, Lloyd, and Nia since Season 1, Episode 1. And bringing in a 6th ninja wasn't too much of a change, because Nia has been on in literally every single episode in the show. And Lloyd, you know, they had to build up to Lloyd. So, it's possible, but I don't think so. And if they bring in some new character, I think people will be mad, because they want either Dareth or Skylar to become a ninja. I kind of agree. Skylar needs to become a ninja. Come on. And Dareth would be cool too. There's a chance Jay's mother's still alive. I need to check my sources. I remember seeing this on Twitter, but I'd need like a link or something. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, this will probably go with Jay's subplot. Planned release date, early 2018, hopefully. Yeah, we all hope. But we know that it's going to come out close to the summertime, because Cartoon Network hates Ninjago. Season 8 will contain 10 episodes. That was really obvious, and everybody expected that. Chronix and Crux will make some appearances, or an appearance. Okay, so the second thing on the 3 statements, only 2 are true, is right. Reoccurring bad guys will return, because of Chronix and Crux. They might not be the only ones to return, though, but I don't think they'll be the main villains. Makes sense they will, because, you know, Wu's lost in time, and they gotta find out. The ninja have to find out what happened to him, so yeah, that makes sense. Cyrus Borg, Dareth, Ronan, and Misaku will all continue to be vital characters in this season. That happens every season. Like, let's be real here. I've noticed that in every season of Ninjago since season 1, I guess, they have this secondary character that becomes a main character. Maybe even the pilots, actually, because it starts out with with Nia in the pilots, and she becomes one of the most main characters. Season 1 has Lloyd, and he becomes kind of, like one of the most main characters. Season 2 has Dareth and Masaku, and they've appeared many, many, many times. Season 3 had Cyrus, Borg, and Pixel. They've made a lot of appearances. 4 had Skylar, who's like probably one of the most loved secondary characters in Ninjago, and she keeps coming back. So, 5. Season 5 was Ronan, obviously. He keeps coming back. Hashtag Ronan spinoff. Take him off the show. Put him in a spinoff. I think that'd be awesome. I think he's better solo than with the ninja. Because he's kind of useless now. They could make a lot of plot lines with him, but not with the story right now. Okay, Season 6 had the police commissioner. Season 7 had Samurai X. That was a secondary character. Powers of Wu and Garmadon will be explained. Nice. I don't really know exactly how that's going to play into the storyline, but I think it will relate to Wu coming back, possibly. He better not die. He's probably not going to die, because Tommy Andreasen wants a Wu season. And Garmadon could come back with this whole Sons of Garmadon thing, so it makes sense that his power will be explained. Someone will die in Season 8. It better not be no whoever. Come on. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Wu. Everybody is saying, oh, Wu's going to die, blah, blah, blah. But Tommy Andreasen wants a Wu season, so I don't think it's going to be him. And he already had his chance to die in Season 1 and Season 7, so come on. They're going to kill him off in, like, the end, probably, if anything. Who do I think it will be? I don't think it's going to be Cole. Somebody has already asked me that. I think Cole's going to die. I always have thought that ever since I saw the episode in Possession where they saw their future reflections and Cole didn't see his. I didn't buy it that he can vanish and that's why he can't see his reflection. I kind of just always thought he was going to die. Maybe it's going to be after the show ends or something. Don't have time for an outro again because this has been super long. So, I guess I'm just going to end it here. No outro. Just like, sub, comment, all that stuff. You know what to do. You've been on YouTube before. Goodbye.